Attorney James Sweeting, and today I want to talk to the community about violence, and particularly about the violence that we perpetrate against ourselves. I've been a criminal defense attorney for many years, and over 30 years of doing cases involving murders, involving violent assaults, the loss, the hurt, the pain, the ugliness of violence has never left me. What I want to say to the community is this: it is unfortunate that these cases are generally perpetrated by ourselves, against ourselves. When you go out and harm your brother or your sister, you're doing injury and damage not only to that individual, not only to our community, but you're doing damage and injury to yourself. Over the years, I've known through analysis and just through experience that most of this violence comes from a lack of self-love and self-awareness. If you don't love and cherish and value yourself, obviously you're not going to love, cherish, and value your brother or your sister. So when we look at the violence in our community, and yes, the violence that we perpetrate against ourselves, I have come to the understanding that that violence results from a lack of love, a lack of self-love. The issue is that someone feels that they have the power to take another person's life or property, and not only do it, but do so in a physical way. And that gives them some strength, some energy, some manliness or womanliness. But in fact, it is a sign of weakness. But right now, as we grow up, as we mature and I become a man, I know that I must settle my differences, not physically, but mentally. I must apply my mentality. Life is not about getting even or settling scores. Life is about advancing where you are, advancing your family and advancing your community. So my call and my speech to those who are watching this is that if you are an influencer, if you're watching this, you're probably not going to go out or be out and go and create some violence. You're more likely to be a victim of a violent assault or crime than you are to be a perpetrator if you're watching this. If you're watching this, though, please know that you're an influencer. Teach your children, and all the children in our community are your children. Teach them at an early age the fact that if they love themselves, they will love their neighbor. And if they love their neighbor, there is no need for them to fall into this foolishness. This violence that we perpetrate against ourselves was taught to us by our enslavers. And we still hold that slave mentality when we try to act out physically. We are mental giants as a people and as a community. And we need to start exercising our God-given talents, our mentality, to solve our problems. We have robbed ourselves of too much talent and hamstrung and shackled ourselves. We have to address this violence. We have to address the violence that we're suffering in our community, and we must find a way to do so that reaches out and touches every corner of the community so that we can get into a situation where we're not killing each other. We're not taking each other off the battlefield. What army turns its swords upon itself? Yet that's what we've been taught. We are turning our arms against each other, and therefore we look around and we wonder why we can't achieve or why we're in this situation or why we're in this circumstance. It's easy. And the powers, the oppressor, they're not hard to defeat. We can defeat our oppressors. We can rise from this circumstance, but we must employ not only our wisdom and our knowledge, but we must stop hating ourselves. We must stop turning on ourselves. We must pick up and lift up our brothers and sisters and not attack them, not injure them, and not doing damage to them. This is Attorney James Sweeting from the offices of James Sweeting LLC, and I'm beseeching, I'm begging, please be that example. Show and exhibit love, and that love and that strength and that energy will set us free.